Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Fatihah binti Muhammad Mazli, number matric 047396. So today we from group 7, we present about modern philosophy and Francis Bacon, page 48 until 56. Okay, falsafah hadisah. Wabadat طلائع الفلسفة الحديثة التي كانت في أول عهدها أميل إلى اتجاه نحو طبيعة وانصرف الفكر حديثة. This modern philosophy can be seen that it trained toward about nature and modern thinking, turned away from being driven by great spirit. And it was not about to find the truth in nature, but there was also an intention about to change the individual life to getting know the new world. هذا ولم تكن فلسفة حديثة طبيعية فحسب، بل كانت فردية كذلك، فقد كان من خواصها لفت عقل فردي وتحريره من الرق رجال الكنيسة. The foundation of modernity is not only about nature but also individualism, and it was purpose to draw the mind of individual to freedom from being controlled by the craftsman. وكان من أغراض حركات حديثة تقرير حق أفراد في حكم على أشياء. One of the purpose, the movement was to establish the right of individual to judge things. فلكل فرد أن يبحث وينتقد غير مقيد في ذلك بأي سلطة خارجية. People can judge any kind of someone idea, and also they can critique without any limitation. ومعنى هذا كله أن النهضة الفكرية قررت أن يكون لعقل فرد قول الفصل. The revolution of intellectual people decide to make their decision by themselves, and this kind of the revolution was also known as pragmatism, which the good or the bad will depend on individual decision. وعلى هذا أساس قامت فلسفة حديثة وكان أول من حمل لواءها بيكون وديكارت. Okay, on this basic, modern philosophy was established, and the first to bring this modernity thoughts was Bacon and Descartes. Okay, these two philosophers agree on the same aim and objective, but they different in the way to achieving this thing on objective. Okay, for example, Bacon believed that the only two source to achieve true knowledge or reality is just with experiment and observe, while Descartes no observe or experiment. The just the akal should be foundation and principle to the base where we get our knowledge. Okay, based on this concept, we can conclude that Francis Bacon was the founder of the practical philosophy, while Descartes are the founder of the new rational philosophy.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Nadira binti Nurdin, matric number 046253 from ISM Usuluddin Counselling, semester 8. InsyaAllah, today I will record my presentation about Mazhab Al-Waqai fi Injiltra Francis Bacon. Point number 1. Syahadtu Injiltra fil Qurun As-Sadis Asharon Asron Zahabiyan Zahirun Balik Aqsa أوجه في عهد الملكة إليصابات إذا لم تكن تستكشف القارة الأمريكية حتى تحول مجرى التجارة من البحر الأبيض إلى المحيط الأطلسي. England was experienced in 16th century, which their golden achievement and reached the highest point during the reign Queen Elizabeth era. But not long enough, America continent was explored until the trade journey has changed from White Sea to Atlantic Ocean. Then the states of nations around the sea rising, such as Spain, France, Netherlands and England, in the world of trading and finance, Italy has higher position and enjoyed by Italy from before. When was the European continent exchanged the trade? Make a violation between it and the East. Point number 2. انتقلت التجارة من البحر الأبيض إلى المحيط الأطلسي فانتقلت معها النهضة من فلورنسا وروما وميلان والبندقية إلى مدريد وباريس وأمستردام ولندن ثم لم تكن تتهتم القوة البحرية الأسبانية سنة 1588 حتى تخلصت إنجلترا من أقوى منافسها. Point number 2. Then it moved the trade from White Sea to Atlantic Ocean. So it moved with Renaissance era from Florence, Rome, Milan and Venice to Madrid, Paris, Amsterdam and London. Then it almost overtook the Spanish Navy in 1588 until England eliminated its strongest component. Then the English trade is expanding and their flag also fluttered on the seas until the end of the world completely. The cities then full with industry and thriving, and his navigator begins to travel around the world as a pioneer dictator. Point number 3. وقد شاء الله ألا يكون نهوض الأمة الإنجليزية في عصرها الذهبي مقصورا على انتعاش التجارة وازدهار الصناعة وارتقاء الملاحة بل اتساع حتى شمول الآداب التي أعينت وبلغت أقصى زراها. By God willing, the rise of the English nation and its golden age should not limited to recovery the trade, grew up the industry and improved the navigation. It even expanded include the etiquette that expanded and reached its peak. Not to mention that era in which poetry and literature are sung by Shakespeare, Marlowe, son of Johnson, Spencer and others, dozens and tens from the leader of pen and also statement of God. That's all from me. Inshallah, the other slide will continue by my friend. Inshallah. That's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
My name is Farah Izati binti Cikman, metric number 046217. Okay. في ذلك العصر الظاهرة الزاهي ولد فرنس بيكم في 22 من شهر يناير سنة 1651 في مدينة لندن. In that bright and prosperous era, Francis Bacon was born on the 22nd of January on the year 1561 in London. من أسرة كريمة المجيدة، فقد كان أبوها السر نيكولاس بيكم يتربع في منصب من اسم مناصب الدولة، وكان نابغا نابها زائع الصيت واسع الشهرة، فإن يكن قد خافت اسمه فما ذاك إلا لأن ذكر ابنه قرطان عليه فبدده في ظلاله، كما يقول ما قول الكتاب الإنجليزي للحروف. فكأنما كانت أسرة بيكون تسير له العبقرية صاعدة جيلا بعد جيل حتى بلغت الذروة في فرنس بيكم. From a generous and glorious family, his father, Sir Nicholas Bacon, was sitting in one of the most prestigious positions in the state, and he was a well-known master. And if his name was hidden, what was that except because the mention of his son gave him to him? Then he scattered him in his shadows, as what the English writer entrusted to the well-known, as if the Bacon family was marching towards genius, ascending generation after generations, until it reached its climax in Francis Bacon. وكانت أمه سليلة بنت الأرك حصلت من علم أصول الدين قدر محمودا فأخذت ترضع ابنها من رحيق علمها واسع ولم تدخر واسعا في تنشئه وتكوينه منذ نعومة أظفاره لتخرج منه رجالا قويا ولما بلغ سنة الثانية عشرة أرسل إلى جامعة كامبريدج. His mother was a descendant of an Asiatic household. She obtained a commendable degree of knowledge and the fundamentals of religion, so they began to breastfeed her son from the nectar of the broad knowledge and spare to effort in his upbringing and formation from an early age to emerge from him a strong man, and when he reached the age of 12, he was sent to the University Cambridge. Okay. Last, حيث أعواما ثلاثة ترك الجامعة بعدها ساخطا ناكما على مادة التدريس وطريقته على السواء فقد كره ذلك الجدال الفارغ العاكم الذي لا ينتهي في أغلب الحالات إلى شيء ذي غناء وصحت منه العزيمة وهو ذلك اليافع الصغير ألا يدخر مجهودا في إنقاذ الفلسفة من ركودها الذي كان يدعو بها إلى جمود الموت وصحموا أن ينقلوا جذورها من أرض المدرسية الجدية القاهلة فيغرسها في تربة الأغنياء وأقصى إلى حيث تكون الفلسفة سبيلا إلى خير الإنسان وسعادتهم. Where for 3 years he left the university. After that, indignant about the teaching materials and its method alike, he had that empty, sterile debate that in most cases does not end in something singing and the determination, which is the young man did not spare any effort to save philosophy from its stagnation. He was approaching it to the immobility of death and the Saham to transfer its root from the barren schoolland, planting it in richer and fertile soil to where philosophy would be a path to the good and happiness of man. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Shahira binti Harun, metric number 046859. I will continue the next presentation. Okay. أولاً ولكن له لم يبلغ السادسة عشرة من عمره حتى انخرط في سلك الظوائف السياسية فعين في السافرة الإنجليزية في فرنسا. About 16 years of age, Francis Bacon was admitted into the political life and he was appointed to English ambassador in France. وظل عاملا بها إلى سنة 1579 إذ برد القدر أبيه فعجل بموته قبل أن ينفذ ما كان التزامه من تؤارسه ابنه فرانسيس ضيعة من أرضها تكفل له اليسر والسائر. And he was there until 1579, and when he received the information of the sickness of his father and then the death of his father. His father, who is Nicholas Bacon, want to give his property to Francis Bacon, but the properties was not handed to him because his father died before Francis Bacon arrived at the London. وكان لا يزال في عامه الثامن عشر وهناك ألفى نفسه واحدا بين اليتيم والعدم. And at age of 18, he found himself living very lonely between being orphan and poor. فعز عليه أن يورد نفسه على خشن العيش وتمسى في أعمال القضاء سبيلا للحياة. It was so difficult for Francis Bacon to adapt himself to harsh life, and he started for looking job. وألها في وقت نفسه على ذوي سلطان من أقربائه أن يؤويه له آملا في إحدى مناسب الدولة السياسية. And he joined the court as a way to survive, and at the same time he used to visit those who was in the authority, which is his father's friends. Francis Bacon requests for them to giving job among of the political position in the country. And next, أنا أخذ بيكون يسعد إلى زورة المجارة صعودا متصلا لا يلوي عن طريقة الشيء. Francis Bacon started moving of one position to other position without leaving anything on his way. فقد اتخاب سنة 1583 عضوا في مجلس النواب. In year 1583, he was appointed as a member of House Representative. وسارعون ما حازب إليه إنذار لبالغة ساهرة وبينه الخالب فأحبه ناخبه حبا شديدا وعده انتخابه عنهم مرة بعد مرة. As soon as he resumed as a member of representative, he became focused by everyone, and they loved them so much and keep voting Francis Bacon so much. وهكذا لبث بيكون يشق لنفسه طريق في متعرك السياسة حتى كان عام 1505 فأحده صديق له معجره بالنوابغ. And at this, Bacon started paving with himself in the politic areas, and he continued until 1595. At 1595, at the same time, Francis Bacon became super rich with a lot of properties, such as a lot of car, a lot of house, and others. هو heir of access ضيعة واسعة دورة عليه صورة طائلة عادية هيئة له أسباب الطرف والنعيم. Year of access, which is Francis Bacon's friends, give to Bacon a gift. In years 1595, Bacon became friend with Year of Access, and Access give him a gift to Bacon to important huge, and he made Francis Bacon to be influencer. Okay, that's all from me. Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ismi Nur Amira Aita binti Muhammad Kamil, Rukmul Metrik, Sif Arba'ah Saba'ah Salasah Sittah Wahid. Today I will continue my part. وكانت هذه الحبة العظيمة من ذلك المحسن الكريم جديرة أن تأثر بيكون، ولكن حدث لهذا الصديق الوحيد أن فترت بينه وبين الملكة اللي أصابت ما كان بينها من روابط وصلات. فدبر إزاء هذا مؤامرة خفية يريد بها أن يزيج الملكة في ظلمة السجن ثم يرفع إلى عرش ولي عهدها. وكشف إزاء بيكون بما صحت عليه عزيمته، وهو لا يشك أنه إنما يكشف صديقا محالفا، ولكنه لشد ما دهش حين أجابه بيكون مع احتجاج صارخ على هذه الجناية شائنة ضد ملكة البلاد. This This greatest gift that was given by philanthropists, it was meant to buy Francis Bacon or to bribe him. But Bacon did not know. He thought it was a generous gift from his friend. It happens that the relationship between him and the Queen becomes severe. There were differences between them. So he was planning to remove Queen Elizabeth from the throne so that the England will install him as the king, so that he will be promoted as the next king. Then, shortly after, the Earl of Essex came approached Francis Bacon with true intention that he had. But sadly, Francis Bacon said to him no. He became so disappointed with Francis Bacon that he could help him when he needed. Then Francis Bacon went to the Queen himself to tell about the plan of Essex. By that, the plan was discovered. Essex was arrested, charged, and was imprisoned. Next. مضى إذ فيما هو مضى فيه ساخطا على بيكون أشد السقط لهذا الجهود المنكر، ولكن مؤامرته فشلت وقبض عليه، فهشد جيوشا مسلحة وسار بها إلى لندن، وأخذ يقاومه ويعارضه ويؤلب عليه القوم، فاندهر إذ وقبض عليه للمرة الثانية. فلم يتردد في اتهام الرجل الذي أكرمه وأحسن إليه حتى حكم عليه بالموت. So when he was removed out from the country, he had another plan. He joined the military to come to the England to remove the Queen. And then when the Queen know about this, he was arrested again for the second time. So with this, Francis Bacon was the leader of the parliament at that time. He was sentenced to the death in the jail. Because the death sentence passed on his own friend, so people became angry on Francis Bacon again. After the death sentence of Essex, things became so tough on Francis Bacon because the citizens, the voters, hated Bacon. They thought he could save his own friend at least, letting him alive so he doesn't not elected by the next. Due to that, he was not elected. Another person was elected in his place, came with bribe and against things, also taken to the same court that passed his own friend's sentence. This time, the judges sentenced him to the prison. In the prison, Francis Bacon, he had time. He think that he would went back to focus on philosophical activities that he wanted to do before. Then that was a lot of corruption cases of him. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Anis Najiha binti A.K. Rahizan, metric number 046777. I will continue the presentation. وإنما نسوق هذه قصة بين بيكون وإسكس. Based on story Francis Bacon and his friend Essex, لأنها تسخر من كتاب التاريخ والأدب فراغا كبيرا، وقد اختلف الأدباء والمؤرخون في موقف بيكون من صديقه. The story between them, written in the book of history and literature A Great War, and writer and historian has differed in the position of Bacon from his friend. فهذا يحجوه أقدع الهجاء وذاك يؤيده ويدافع عنه ولعل أبلغ ما قيل في هذا ما كتبه الشاعر إنجليزي بوب في وصف بيكون حيث قال إنه أعظم وأحكام وأخص إنسان بين البشر. Some of them condemn Francis Bacon on what he did, but some of them support and defend what is being done by Francis Bacon. And perhaps the most telling of what was said about this is the English Pope wrote in this describing Bacon. He said, Bacon is the wisest and the greatest person among humans. وكان موقف بيكون هذا قد أثار في نفوس قومه نقمة عليه وكراهية له. The position of Bacon is causing dissatisfaction in the mind of his people. وكانوا جميعا يتربصون به الدوائر ويصبون عليه شخطا والغضب ولكنه أزدر بالناس ومضى غير عابئ بما تقنه له صدورهم من غلل. The people were laying for him and pouring out dissatisfaction on him, so they were blaming and angry with him. وأخذا يروه ويغدو بين مظاهر العزمة التي أغرم بها فأسرف فيها إسرافا أدى به إلى استدانة حتى شيق آخر الأمر إلى شجن وفاء لديني عجزا عن وفائه. But he was not mind about what ordinary people say to him, and he did not care what they talked to him. The people were waiting for the next election. He was enticed with politics and he was extreme in his reaction. This caused him to get stuck in many cases of corruption of debt. In the end of the day, he was taken to the courts because of corruption. Then the courts made judgment to take him in prison because he took the property of government and a lot of loan that he borrowed and he could not pay back. Then he was imprisoned for that. That is the ending political of Bacon. ولكن نجمه رغم ذلك كله أخذ في صعود حتى ظفر بأعلى مناصب الدولة وأرفعها مقاما. But his star despite all of this began to ascend until he won the highest position in country. He became a prime minister. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name Wati binti Muhammad Nur, nama matrik 0466 and 32. Now I'm continue for the last slide. Francis Bacon ma'ad dujjaju al-mujammadu قد حدث في شهر المارس من سنة 1626 أن تكون التجربة آخر مشهد له في حياته الأخيرة. أن كان مسافرا من لندن إلى إحدى المدن الغريبة فأخذ يفكر تفكيرا عميقا في إمكان حفظ لحم من تعفن بتغطيته بالثلج. So the end of his public career, Francis Bacon turned to the other passion on his life, being the philosophy of science. In a snowy March in 1626, Francis Bacon was travelling through the Highgate, North London, with his good friend. And along the journey, Francis Bacon, he have thought the best method to preserve food when inspired by the snowy landscape, and Bacon proposed that ice might be used to keep food fresh. فنزل من عربته عند صادفه في بعض الطريق اتبع منه الدجاج زبيبها وملأها بقطع الثلج ليرى كم تعيش الدجاج دون أن يعود أن يصيبها الفساد. So for this point, Francis Bacon, he go out of his warm carriage, stopped to the Pond Square gate, and where Bacon procured a chicken from a nearby farm and have a chicken stuffed with snow after slaughtered. وبين هو مشتغل بذلك ازداهمها مريض مفاجئ أعزائه أن يعود إلى لندن. So before suddenly Francis Bacon was falling ill and come back for again to his London. He reportedly got pneumonia and he died on 6 April 1626. So before Francis Bacon died, he wrote on the paper like this. As for the experiment itself, he succeeded excellently well. That's all from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.